All right, we are live again for another day of streaming. So same intro as usual. So I'm in between projects right now, and I've been streaming every day just to kind of fill in the gaps. And I finally released one of the long-awaited shorts that I've been talking about. It looks like we got a first chatter. That's someone other than Bradley today. So congratulations to NIHWY. Sorry, it's hard. My poor vision and dyslexia makes it hard to read that from here. But congratulations to you for being the first chatter. So tonight we're going to do something similar to what we've been doing every day. So if you have a vote on what type of content you want to see, let me know. Now the other thing I did today was I actually merged in those changes, and I haven't had time to set up anything for development today, so let's do that now. I probably won't stream super long again today. I'm kind of tired. I've actually been to film the last shorts video. If you guys watched that, I've been staying up till like 4 a.m. the last couple of days trying to finish it. Not only doing the editing, but to go out and to film some of the scenes. Like some of the scenes, the video is only 49 seconds, but making a video like that it's just incredibly time consuming to like get all the lenses, to charge the batteries, to go to physically walk to the location, to get the camera, get the tripod set up, get the camera pointed in the right direction. It's quite a bit of work, but we'll see if the effort pays off for that video. Hopefully it gets 10 trillion views. So tonight I'm going to go to bed early, and no more working after stream. That short was a banger. Didn't know you had videography chops like that. Yeah, honestly, I think like I have I have the lenses for it and stuff. I guess it kind of snowballed with. I've always wanted to do to be able to get like close-up shots for. I guess I learned a lot about the physics of photography. Photographing the chips. That was kind of the original. What got me originally hooked was learning that what I need is macro lenses, and then eventually I've always wanted to do like be able to film like motion in low lighting, because the aesthetic the aesthetic of what you're seeing right now, to get this kind of aesthetic and to be able to actually have like low light and have that nice kind of dark feel, but also get motion, you have to get a lens with a very wide aperture. Now you can just turn up the ISO, but you've probably seen in some streamers that have they're in a lighting condition like this, but you'll see like a lot of blocky areas on the video, and that's probably because they don't have a lens with a wide enough aperture, so they have to turn the ISO up really high. Either that, or they do have the right lens, but they have the aperture really closed up. But yeah, so I guess most of the skills have been there from the random scenes I've filmed over time. But that's I think that's the first short I've done where I've actually put that much work into like going to the location, filming stuff, and the main challenge with that was like every little kind of like section was basically like three lens changes. For the last half of it, for each of the 4 sections, there was three different lenses for each shot. So I had the telephoto lens, which usually when it had like the kind of spooky sounding music, that was the telephoto lens. And then I'd switch to the 50 millimeter lens, so you can actually like kind of see what like a close up view of the subject, and then the kind of the blurry shot at the end that was done with a macro lens, or sorry, with a fisheye lens. I've ever planned to make a course on CS stuff. I have had people ask me about doing something like that, but yeah, I don't know. There's like people. Some people said they make money off Udemy courses and stuff. Personally, what I want is I would prefer my content to be more accessible. One of the issues with all these like course sites and stuff is people put a bunch of content on them, and then like if you I think to make good money on it, you'd have to rely on an existing platform like Udemy or something. But then I don't want to make a bunch of content for Udemy and then have them change the terms of service and like like shut down or like take all your content and feed it into AI and totally screw you on the pricing model. But also anything you post on YouTube is it's always just like marketing for more of your stuff. And I also kind of like the idea where if someone is like super poor, like there's lots of people in India who don't have the money to pay for expensive education. If you're like in the middle of nowhere and you want to just watch videos for free, then YouTube is the place for that. Very interesting. How long did it take to film in total? So to give you an idea, like let's see. So if you do the scene where I'm like, I poke my head out from behind the that like building there in the alleyway, and I'm like poking on the keyboard. So there's 3 separate scenes there. There's the telephoto shot where it's like kind of zooming in, looking down the alley. Then there's the close-up shot of me with the light there, poking on the keyboard. And then the last one is me walking down the intersection. To film those 3 scenes, I get my camera, go out and kind of walk around. There was a couple places I had in mind to maybe film it, and then when I actually got there, like the lighting wasn't really good, and I didn't think it was a good location. And then I ended up kind of walking around, and I actually filmed the same kind of two starter scenes in a different place, and then I ended up not using that one because it didn't look good. I think the one I used was better. And so to go out and film that section was probably like 2 hours of time. And the time spent was like the time to charge the battery in the camera, move the take the SD card off, copy the files, go back over the files, look at, because I usually to get that I try to film more than I actually use. So because if I get all the way back here, like walking out there and coming back is what takes most of my time. So I always, while I'm out there, I'm just like, okay, I might as well just film this, film it over. So probably like the scene of me like poking the keyboard, I would redo that like maybe 4 or 5 times because sometimes I don't get the focus right or something, or so probably a couple hours for that. And then of course there's the editing. So I have to kind of watch through, I do a lot of them in slow motion to make them look a bit cooler. So then now I have to kind of like skip around. If I did like the same action, for 4 minutes, when it's slowed down, it's now like a 25-minute slow motion video. So I got to like skip around a bit. So I don't know. I would say the amount of time in that video is approaching 40 hours or so. So it's quite a bit of work. And it remains to be seen if it will, if it'll actually pop off. Now, the other thing is, actually, I should have done a bit more research. I actually found out that there are other YouTube videos that use that exact song I use. It's a copyrighted song, So I thought, okay, it's probably good. I didn't really know how it works with shorts, and I didn't. I figured if I made a shorts, if I uploaded a shorts format, then it would work itself into the content ID system. But what I actually have to do is I have to use if you want to use copyrighted content, you have to do it. You have to upload it on mobile. So I uploaded the first version of that video, and it got content ID recognized, and they said it's blocked globally. So I'm like, oh man, I just spent all this time on this video and I can't release it. And luckily, well, I guess not that luckily, because there were some other videos that had the same thing. I was able to. There was one that. So what you have to do is you have to create a shorts from your phone. So I had to re-render the video and put it on a USB, and then put the USB in the phone, and then copy it onto the phone, and then upload it from the phone, and then use YouTube's crappy editor to put the audio on, which is really haphazard. So that was screwing around all day with that, because the sample audio you can use on YouTube is actually it was sped up. It was sped up by 10%. It's 110% speed. So it's, anyway, I'll know for next time. There are not many actual educated tech YouTubers. Most people don't know what they're talking about. Do you know accounting? I know a bit of accounting for my business. The last short was a banger. Really puts the cinematic in cinematic shorts. Yeah, I figured it'd be every piece of content I post is just an experiment to see is it worth the ROI. From what I understand, it's the overall profitable model is to pump out a lot of lower effort slop content. But then again, like some of the other videos, I put a lot of work in. They're kind of like the evergreen ones that have been doing thousands of views a day for a long time now. I will watch that 1 trillion times. Excellent. Yeah, I watched it over a few times after it was out there. I'm like, this is actually watchable. It's one of those ones you could click on over and over again. So hopefully it gets picked up in the YouTube algorithm. Do you do sports betting? I made money and lost it. I do not do sports betting. Marwin Gulami says me too. I want to make good content, but I stuck at understanding well my work about respecting the audience. If I make money, it's good too. Yeah, I would say I want to make money. Obviously, if I have more money, that can produce more content. There's I don't know. There's I think a sweet spot where you can focus more on. I think if you're actually trying to produce something useful that stands for something, then it's a bit easier to gather an audience from that. Whereas it might be that the best strategy is steal car crash compilation videos and re-upload them to YouTube with the format changed and AI voiceover to explaining it. That might work now, but the longevity of that is very low, and anyone doing that is not building a brand, and it's kind of a gamble. Maybe you would make $1 million doing that right now, but if you get caught, and the most likely thing is before you make $1 million, you'll get caught and then banned, and now you've wasted all your time. Udemy pricing is kind of a mess anyways. Everything on a permanent 80-90% sale, which is pretty shoddy in my book. Yeah, building a course is also it's quite a bit of work too. I think the thing that really makes a course useful and valuable is the feedback and marking, I think. And that's it'd be possible to automate that stuff, but to make it good, you have to work a lot on the automation to market well. And then the other substitute from that is you just manually market. Hey, Marmot, I just played basketball with some very smart people. Basketball with very smart people. That's cool, I guess. I'm not a huge basketball fan. Who up world dominating it right now? Me, I guess. What's the idea behind the video? I didn't get context. It's my my last shorts video. I don't know if you saw it. 40 hours. Props putting in that much time short. Yeah, I originally the original idea I had for it was actually only just the kind of four scenes, so it probably would have been like 20 seconds, and then after that, after I started working on it, I'm like, hey, I could probably like extend this out, and then I even thought like, now that shorts are longer, I could even go for like, more than a minute or something on this, but because there were a few more like interesting drops in the sound that I could make some stuff to, but I'm like, what, I gotta just cut it off and actually ship something. I don't know. I probably shouldn't make more videos like that one, but we'll see if this one pops off. Gotta keep it on loop so it blows up. Hopefully, as long as YouTube doesn't catch on. I hate how the algorithm spits out videos as they are a certain amount of views. Happens with all of my videos. How the algorithm spits out videos as soon as you get a certain amount of views. Oh, do you mean they like stop trending? Yeah, I think there's a few things going on there. One thing is like you have your core audience, and when a video goes out, it like kind of rapidly goes through your core audience, and then to like get the next kind of round of surge, it has to find I think there's some threshold to see like does it generalize enough and stuff. I don't know, that's my intuition about the algorithm. Are you interested in Computex? I don't know what that is. I saw your short about being dangerous. Loved it. Excellent. Thanks. I feel there is a saturation of low-quality courses. Adding one to the pile isn't going to make a difference, but making something that stands out is too risky. Yeah. It's difficult. It's difficult to optimize everything, but I'm making a bit of progress every day, I think. Experimenting. That is a cool short. I like the darker night shots. Yeah, now with that video, like I actually planned to make a bit more content like that one a lot earlier. And some people asked like, why does your profile picture look so like sinister? And so now it makes a bit more consistent and stuff. As I think the the fedora wearing hat one is that's one like interesting character, but I think it'd be good to have like the full range of Linux command line characters. By the way, where are we with the inventory system? We'll get there. I have let's oh wow, we got a super chat today for the epic cinematic short. Thanks. That's I'm a little bit further toward paying off the time for that. All right, so I can now close a menu or I can close a frame. There's a few more things I want to add to just like the framing system, so I can actually open and close stuff and actually get feedback. I did see that one, dramatic and intense. Have a good day, Rob. Thank you for the kind words. For example, a recent short got like 1.6K and just flatlined at 1.6K. It's very interesting. Yeah, I think what happens is I think that what YouTube treats it as like a I don't know what they would call it. I don't know what they would call it, but I would call it like your kind of canary audience. So your like core audience. There's like a certain set of people who watch like every single thing that you do, and when you post a video, it kind of, I think it like goes out to all those people, and then I think what YouTube does is sees how does the video perform with your core audience, and I think it might even try to like cluster the audience, because if you post content that's like a couple different styles of content, then there's probably one common denominator that like everyone wants. But you know, if you post videos about gardening and programming, it'll kind of figure out like, okay, is this a gardening video or a programming video? But it doesn't necessarily know that. It just knows like it appeals to this cluster of people versus that. And then once it kind of goes through that sample audience, like I've noticed with the recent short, it's gotten like 2,000 views or so, and I actually lost one subscriber. And that's a pattern I've seen on like a lot of videos that I post now. So I'll post a video, I will get like literally 0 new subscribers, and then I'll lose a couple subscribers. And I think that's because it's showing the video to only like the most engaged people, and it doesn't even give the opportunity for someone who's not subscribed to see the video. And then once it like kind of figures out some base metrics on that the video and that, you know, the profile, and also how good that video is, like using that to assess like, okay, is this a banger video? Like, did everybody like it? Is it performing better than the trend? And then if it's like, I think what they actually probably do, I think that's why they have that like that ranking system, is like, is your number one video in the last 10? What they do is they say, among your core audience, is this a top 10% video? And if it's a top 10% video among your core audience, expand the audience. And I've also noticed if I post like a more bad video, the like ratio will be higher. And if I post a really good video, it'll have a lower like percentage. And I think what's happening there is, because it's a better video, it shows it to a broader audience. But if it detects that it's a bad audience, or if it's a bad video, it only shows it to like the most loyal viewers, and then those loyal viewers just like everything regardless. So that's why it's kind of gives you a backwards like percentage. We might get tornadoes tonight. Oh, I hope not. Make sure you get one on video, and then you can make a YouTube video about it if they do. That's what it feels like, being in a box of my own subscribers most of the time. Yeah, I think if it performs well in the seed audience, then it'll broaden out. And I think what they do is like over time slowly expand your audience. So once it's gone through the seed audience, it seems to just like flatten out, and then over time it seems to, you know, continue to learn in the background, but it takes like, you know, at least a few months. And I think it's also kind of like moving average based. And the newer content that you post is really like I find there's YouTube knows. I don't know whether it infers this, like it does any deep knowledge discovery, or if it's just an artifact of click-through rates. But if I post a few more videos on semiconductors, all of my previous videos on semiconductors will start doing well. If I publish, like the most recent video is, I think maybe similar to the Netcat one, this will probably boost the views on the Netcat video a lot. Love the Nmap showed it in your recent short. You're truly a hacker. Yeah, I figured that'd be the point was to just include some like kind of basic, it's like stereotypical hacker things, but nothing what would you call it, like so sophisticated to show off, but just standard Nmap on the local network. Planning my world domination. Got struck by a tornado. Face for the thumbnail. You sound and look suspiciously like Serpenza. Yeah, I know his channel. That's I've never been compared to him before. Okay. So, oops. What I did last time was I implemented the close current frame. Let's open the help menu first. So we can open help menu. And we can do close current frame, or closes the frame. We can do close current frame, and close to that frame. We can close the last frame, so there's no frames open, but if I do close current frame, now that fails, which makes sense. Maybe we should get some feedback first on just to print something on the screen to show that there's no frames open. That game looks pretty neat. Is it entirely made just with code? Yeah, it's there's no assets in it. The characters are the graphics are all emoji characters. I'm trying to figure out the context of the tornado. It's a fake tornado. I don't know. He sounds like he was talking about getting they must have had a tornado warning. We get tornado warnings here sometimes. I've always been kind of excited that maybe I would see a tornado. I wonder. I've never seen a thing on the news of a tornado hitting an apartment building before. I wonder what that would look like. I don't think this place would blow over. It's all concrete. Kentucky get some bad tornadoes a couple days ago. Yeah, I think I saw a couple news headlines about that. Tennessee had a few today. We had an unexpected tornado in Michigan last year. Michigan. Yeah, I guess we're like the northern part of Tornado Alley, I think. We get a lot of extreme weather from the lakes and stuff around here. I think it's because Tornado Alley is moving. It's probably expanding because of climate change. Man, I like your new short. Pretty artistic, if you ask me. Thank you very much. By the way, what is the world domination thing about? So right now I'm kind of between projects, so I've been working on to fill up my schedule. I've been streaming every day because that does bring in a bit of revenue. Well, actually, the first few days I was bringing in. It was bringing in a bit more revenue, and I was getting a few channel members a day, every day of streaming. Although this kind of slowed down, so, but that's I think that's reasonable. These are pretty boring streams. It's also just part of an experiment to just like see what happens to my metrics and revenue if I just stream every day. I've never done that before, so, and also I can work on this block mining simulation game and make progress on that. So it's a way to kind of accomplish multiple things at once. I like your short too. Music was catchy. Good troll face impression. Yeah, people tell me I have a good natural troll face. That should come in convenient for future content production. I think there's a nice chill stream. I'm going to hop off YouTube for the night. Have a good night. Have a great night. We need more Robert emojis in this chat. I think we can add them. Members can use them. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe I'll have to look at that. I'll see if I can get a troll face emoji or something. Funds for world domination purposes only. Thank you very much to NHH VHY. And that's why I was having trouble reading. I thought there was a W, but it's a V. Thank you very much. Okay, close current frame. Close current frame. And cool, it doesn't crash. But it is kind of messed up. But it will. Troll face Robert emoji would go pretty hard. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. If I forget about it, you can remind me again. After stream, I tend to like forget almost every conversation I have with stream. There's still a long list of stuff people have recommended to try, but I haven't done any of that stuff. But the last few days, one of the things that makes like making a video like that hard is stuff like the weather, stuff I can't control. Like the yesterday. So for the kind of like starting scene with me with the hat and kind of like when I'm happy, that for those scenes, I actually filmed those last, because what I did is I just grew up my beard a bit for the later scenes and then filmed those, and then once I finished that, I just shaved and filmed the kind of starter scenes. And I wanted to get I wanted to go to like a nice sunny day so it looks happy and stuff like that. And so today, the weather, yesterday, it was perfect weather for that part of the video. It's also we're getting into summer and it's getting really hot out, but like a couple of weeks ago, I was filming one scene. It was like 26 degrees, and it was it would get really uncomfortable with that heavy dark jacket and the super thick turtleneck. But yesterday it was perfect because it was a sunny green day, but it was also like really cold, or like unseasonably cold, so I could actually walk around in that shirt, and because I specifically wanted that for continuity. So it was a perfect day, and for the next week it's going to rain, so I basically had to like push to try and get that scene filmed, because otherwise then I'd have to wait like an entire week just to film one scene when the sun was out. And so it was the perfect day, and then I went to the park and I realized I think it was a holiday, and the park was absolutely filled with people, and I was thinking about filming that scene where I'm walking by the water. I was going to film that instead with me walking across like a little bridge in the park that I planned out. There's like a mound of dirt there. I was going to put the telephoto lens on it, so you're like looking at me walking across the bridge. But the park was just so full of people that when I went there, I kind of looked around for another place, and then I found the place by the water. I'm like, oh, that actually looks pretty picturesque. So I set up the camera and stuff. I did one take of it, of me walking toward the camera, and then these two people came, and this girl was like, gave her phone to her boyfriend. It's like, hey, take a picture of me. So he took a picture of her, and then they're like looking at it. I'm like, okay, I'll just wait for them to move, because they were standing like, I already had the camera and tripod and stuff set up, pointing right to them. where I was walking, trying to film this thing, and they stood there and kept taking pictures for literally 20 minutes. Well, I was like, okay, fine, trying to take one. And I'm pretty sure the pictures they got were all really bad because she was like standing in the kind of half in the shadows. You're doing God's work. I just turned an old laptop into a server. Cloud-fired VPN. I'm vibe coding whilst having a finance degree. Excellent. Dating advice. This is not really the focus of the channel. I mean, the vague advice I would give is go to a place where, well, assuming you're a man, go to a place where women actually exist. That's I think the most important thing. If you are in a place where it's like 100% men, then it's going to be really difficult there. Okay, so we fixed a null pointer. Not in Linux land. I use Arch, by the way. Arch? That's impressive. Okay. So I think what I need So I want to just add something so if there's no frames present, then it'll actually give me some feedback so I can know what's going on. Life has been easier since I started using CLI instead of a GUI. Yeah, it's a very different way of using a computer. It's I think the main advantage of a CLI is if you do something that you're going to do again in the future, it's it's much easier if you're doing it on the command line, whereas in a graphical interface, like the ability to like script and repeat stuff is kind of just doesn't exist. You can use like visual tools and stuff to like click buttons and whatnot, but also less resource intensive. That's one of the reasons that pushed me. That's why I'm coding in Vim right now instead of using the IDE. I started out with the IDE, but back when I was at Amazon, it would always crash. I'm just like, nope. Ever since then, my editor has never crashed again because of out of memory. Yeah, the resource improvement is massive. Although I kind of I was mentioning last night, I do kind of I have been going a bit between both as well, using IntelliJ. Might as well open that up. I used it last night to just debug something quick. Whereas in the command line, sometimes you can get away with printf debugging and logging, but it's there's certain cases where having a debugger where you can just like breakpoint something, go to the breakpoint, and then look at the state is just much faster. It said it's ready, but it lied. Basically, I just want to print something, but the printing functions don't exist. I wanted to do the least elaborate thing possible. Basically, all my printing functions exist in the concept of frames, but I just want to have some basic feedback so I can say like there are no frames active. But if I try to print, sound like a format a print function from this, using my other like fancy printing at XY, it will deadlock because this thing is never supposed to rely on the user interface frames. I guess I could just maybe force the help menu to stay active. Use Nano. Nano is a pretty good editor for getting started. There's going to be so much work. So this should at least clear the screen when I close the last frame. Then I'll maybe just print some message on it. Oh, it didn't work. Pet Sal says, hello. How's it going? We're just working away on the block mining simulation game. I'm in to say hi. Amazing short. Best troll face IRL. So well done. Yeah, people have said I have a good natural troll face, so that should come in handy for future content production. This is some cool software. Excellent. I'm glad you think so. Convilius says good night. Storm's here. Hopefully no tornadoes hit you. Stay safe. Pseudo RM tornado. Yes, indeed. H top tornado. Nice, plus 19. I guess a positive niceness gives less priority, doesn't it? Yeah, I remember, actually, the way I remember that is from the top comment on my video about the nice command. Even though I made that video, I forgot from the time. But then someone asked about using the way to get ahead in life is to use a negative niceness value. All right, that is closer to what I want. Because now it clears the screen. Niceness values range from -20, most favorable, to at least 19. Yields do anything with a lower nicery. Yeah, I guess that was the kind of conceptual sense making. Like how could it make sense to be not, like, why is it called nice in the first place? When do you think you'll finish the game? Never. It will never ever be finished. There will always be new things to add to it. What about 1.0? It really depends. Depends what happens in my life, because things like housing and stuff like that. Like, so I have an eviction hearing in 6 days. So so after that, I don't know, within probably a couple of weeks or so, they'll probably come up with a verdict. Now, I think they'll probably rule in our favor, but because it's me and like 61 other people in this building. Now, if we lose, then I have to leave this place, or I mean, I could probably still ride out the eviction process for a bit longer. But if we officially lose, then it's kind of, I got to start getting stuff out of here, and then I have to go somewhere. So I'll probably bail, go back and live in parents' basement for a bit, instead of spending the money into a void that I'm up here. I'll just go back and pitch in back home and come up with a plan of attack. So those are the bigger things than game development. I would kind of like to work on this more, and maybe even make like content about game development or something, or more like just programming in general. But I didn't even get time to work on this at all, like in the last 6 months. So I think the last version of this that I published was in like November, and then I've been I spent so much time on other. Honestly, the last few videos I made, YouTube videos I made, have taken a huge amount of time. The immigration video, that was a massive amount of time. I kind of hoped that would do better than it did. I guess the powers that be, though, have decided to make it so that video does not trend. Like I was kind of hoping maybe I could do another one that could have the potential to be another million view video, because that would have been really, really nice to have right now. But looks like it didn't happen. But I mean, I don't know, maybe if the algorithm changes or things change in society, could pick up a bit, but we'll see. Software is never finished, only released. If you get evicted, are you going to cross the border illegally? Go to the US? Probably not. I'll probably stay in Canada. I still haven't watched the immigration video. Yeah, it's it's long. I can kind of understand some people wouldn't want to watch it, but I also tried to make it like my thought was that if it did get a lot of views, I mean, it still got 50 something thousand. So that's enough that hopefully a couple people in the government maybe watched it, or like someone who can make some policy decisions to like actually improve the situation for immigration for everyone. I think it's tragic that we don't have more high quality discussions on that. It is also kind of a bit off topic for my channel, but I guess then so was the how to become a 37-year-old precluser one. rm-rf no preserve root dev universe. Yeah, sometimes that almost feels like the kind of thing that makes sense with the way the world's going. I mean, there was some guy who blew up a fertility clinic, of all places, and yet he was. I guess there's a growing movement of antinatalism who believes that the right thing to do is to kill off all human life for some reason, which is like kind of a crazy fringe thing, but I guess there's more of that now. What does this mean? The stream, or oh, you mean his command, rmrf. Excellent. If you respond, I'll try to explain what this means. Oops, a scientist actually developed a black hole and annihilated Earth. Yeah, they say that CERN is going to do that. rm-rf. Oh, that's a common Linux joke. People always say rm-rf will delete everything. It completely deletes a directory permanently without any garbage bin. And so people always tell Linux noobs, like, hey, do you want to make your computer faster? Run rm-rf. And then some noobs will delete it and will run it. But actually, if you do rm-rf/, it's supposed to not. You're supposed to have to add that extra flag. No preserve root. Alt F4. Yeah, it's like just like in. I think I got hit with that once back in playing Diablo 2. Everyone's like, hey, press Alt F4. It'll give you cheat codes. Now here's a case where a debugger is useful because I forgot what function I need to use to get character codes. All devices and peripherals are technically files in Linux. And /dev is for physical devices. Dev universe is the physical universe. That's only if you have the universe mounted, though. Oh, look at that. I forgot to mount the network. How's money these days in your apartment situation? Money these days is I'm basically cash flow like neutral. So I'm getting ahead like a few $100, like a couple $100 or so at the end of the day. So revenue is trended down. That's part of that's because I haven't produced enough videos that are getting enough views, and also it's summer, so there's less traffic in the summer. As for the rent eviction situation, the hearing is May 26th. Then we will have, that's when we're going to have the group hearing of I think it's only like half the people are still, so they handed out 61 eviction notices and 13 eviction notices, and I think only half of the people are going to the hearing. Good luck. Yeah, it's I mean, at this point, I don't even care. Whatever happens. I'm based on what I'm seeing. There's a couple other buildings where they won at those buildings. And I don't know. Also, the market is kind of changing. Like our economy is kind of getting soft, and I think rents are coming down. So I think at this point, the incentive to actually get us out of here has gone down because it's becoming less lucrative. But it's still, I don't know, it's still profitable. There's still, I don't know. It depends what the prospect is for new tenants and stuff. I mean, it also depends how immigration goes, because a lot of the like insane increase in demand for housing was from immigration. If we, chill out on immigration for a while, things can normalize. I think you can make the immigration video perform better if you had a more controversial title. Not saying you should do it, but it may be worth a try. Yeah, I think the title's fine. I changed the thumbnail, which is like, I have like Indians in quotes, which makes it kind of a little bit controversial, but I kind of it's a balance. I want to there's a point where, like, cost benefit analysis is like, it's easy to make it controversial, but if it's too controversial, then the people who need to take it seriously don't take it seriously. So, hey Robert, nice video today. Thank you very much. Funds for the evil, dangerous hacker man to control the world. Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. Good luck. Do you have the housing? Do you think the housing market getting cheaper is because of less immigration? It is because of less immigration. I think it's really, it's everything. The tariffs caused some job losses, and the job losses, like the large-scale job losses, have also made consumer expectations go down. So, like, people are more pessimistic about the future. There's also like worldwide, there's like macroeconomic stuff going on. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff in the bond market that's going bad and stuff. And if people are just kind of fearful, like if businesses are fearful and everyone's fearful, then I think it's likely that people are just going to spend less, and that's it. The kind of decrease in economic activity becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. I mean, we kind of need a break. Like, rents have been going up so much so quickly, like it's just not sustainable. Gotta install SLAL. I know SL, but not AL. All these wars going on. Oh yeah, there's just so many like chaotic things going on. Actually, I also kind of wonder, because I know I have seen effects with some of my videos. I don't know if it's like a deliberate thing on the platform's part, or if it's maybe just like trends, but I've noticed that like actually in India, because there's a war going on with India, I would kind of wonder if that maybe also gets the video a bit censored. Like it's not getting like censored, but it's it's already lots of tensions related to that. So the algorithm seems to like trend certain it seems to trend certain narratives for a while, and then they'll kind of like, it's almost like something switches off and you don't see them anymore. Like it's almost like there is someone up there pushing buttons to say like, okay, we want to implant a narrative in the public consciousness, and there's so much content that presenting every single different side of every opinion out there. You can just press a button, and as long as you lift up a certain narrative, it's almost like you can manufacture a certain opinion in the public. Or it could actually just be trends. Okay, just SL. What does AL do? Interesting messages with SL Umlord gets censored by YouTube. Huh. See, that's a nice benefit of my leaving on the filtered censored chat. We can now detect. Huh, that's very interesting. Slumlord. Wow. It's censored Slumlord. Trump said he's going to extend the Golden Dome over Canada. That's good. We need protection. Riding waves. Slumlord. I guess that shouldn't get censored, but I'll if you guys type stuff and it doesn't show up there, it's because it's getting auto censored by YouTube. Yeah, I guess only if you see it like on the if it's on the stream, like everyone sees the same thing on the stream, but like the chat thing on the side is where it'll be missed. Yeah, the censorship seems to I've noticed there's a few different factors it seems to be paying attention to. Like, if you start chatting too much, then it'll start like randomly censoring you. Like, I've noticed if people come in and just start kind of spamming the chat a bit, it'll. What is going on? This file does not belong to this project. Do swear words get censored? I don't think they get censored very much. I think some of the, I think as long as the surrounding context doesn't seem too vulgar, I don't think they get censored. Well, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It's kind of inconsistent. If it detects based behavior, it will null pill your messages. That's true. That's what the algorithm's programmed to do. Do you meditate or stuff like that? You seem really calm. That's why I asked. I don't meditate. It might be also kind of misleading because I have my headphones on and I get feedback of my voice, and my voice sounds kind of like I could probably turn down my preamp, but like I'm talking very softly, so that probably helps it. Yeah, if you watch some of my video, if you watch one of my my most recent long form video, my voice sounds a bit more different, and that's probably a better representation of what I actually sound like in person, which is probably not quite as calm because I have to talk louder. And also the frequency, this picks up more of the bass frequencies, so it makes me seem more chill than I am. But I think it's good for the streaming performance. Okay, it said that file doesn't belong to this project, which seems like nonsense to me. Deceptively chill world dominator. Yep. YouTube comment system is terrible. I post comments. Sometimes they either get discarded with no message, or they don't show for me for other people. I've noticed on when I look at my comment section, there's top comments, and then there's newest comments. And top comments always filters some comments. And if I do newest comments, then it actually shows the filtered ones. But I've noticed too, by default, I can't see some of the comments. But then I think it still is showing some of the comments to people, because I've noticed like some of the censored comments, other people reply to them. So it's almost like you get into like a deeper down into a filter bubble, where like, I don't know, maybe all the shadow ban people get in a shadow ban bubble together, which is kind of freaky to think about, that algorithms are basically like partitioning us into like universes of increasingly similar people, and then making it impossible to see out of that bubble. Make a ASMR channel. Those get many views. I'm not really sure I want to build an audience of people who want that content. Once Robert becomes the world leader, he will immediately create a new religion, prosecute those who do not follow it. What it may be, nobody knows yet. I guess that is the kind of standard progression for every world dominator. I mean, I haven't made any plans for that now, but who knows? Once I'm drunk on power, I may change my opinion. Okay, is it actually? I don't trust that this is actually working. Let's open this again. I love how your points about IDs earlier are being proven in real time. Which ones? I guess maybe the ones about it being slow, because it is incredibly slow to load on this crappy old computer. I guess coding is a type of meditation. Yeah, I guess maybe you could say it is. I never thought about it that way. Chart, that's what I'm looking for. char at index. How big is your apartment? I'm not sure. I haven't measured it. It's a 2-bedroom. Didn't think YouTube showed different comments to different people. I think comment section should be a properly functioning forum type interface. Yeah, it is. It does show the same thing to most people for the most part, but I have noticed. I don't know. There's not a lot of comments, but I do notice on some of the quote unquote like shadow ban comments, there's other people commenting with them. I don't know. That might mean that those people are also manually sorting, like they change it from top comment to like newest. You should build a casino and print infinite money. Gambling is a pretty reliable way to make money, but it comes with a lot of bad stuff. That's why it's all illegal everywhere. Have you produced a bigger solar project than this before? It's a good question. I think some of my past solar projects have been kind of on the same scale. I'd say this one is more because it's like getting to an initial functional product that you could say is an actual game. My previous solo projects have been maybe a lot more ambitious, like writing a compiler and stuff, and they're way more open-ended. Is gambling illegal in Canada? I actually don't even know. I think there's lots of different types of gambling, like sports betting, and I know like online casinos and stuff in the States anyway. It used to be all they were all like run outside of the country because they were illegal in the US, but then I think they changed those laws. Gambling is not something I've ever really gotten into. It just makes the house always wins with gambling, so in my view it's pointless. And there's also tons of stories. Actually, I think I watched a YouTube video of a guy recently who he was doing betting on sports or something like that, and he was like mathematician level. You know, he did all this research and probably doing horse race betting or something where there actually was some like underlying thing. It wasn't just a slot machine, and he won like, I don't know, $100,000 or something, and then they refused to pay him, and now he's taken them to court. So it's just not something I'm interested in. That whole industry is crooked on both sides. What language your compiler for? Did it work well? If you it was for C. Actually, if you if you go to recc.robertelder.org, if you look up my blog, you'll find or just Google like Robert Elder software compiler. You'll probably find the page for it still up. You should try gambling with CS:GO skins. Yeah, I know there's some of the most popular streamers are all like gambling addict streamers. They just sit there, like clicking on the thing, gambling for 16 hours a day. That's different. Oh, that's why. That's because I forgot. Forgot to put I in there. Lossy conversion from long to int. I is in. Oh. Does that work? Minis. About the only way to chat with the stream is to use the terminal game chat. That chat goes to stream. Yeah, if I can actually get some stuff going with it, then oh man, these numerical precision errors killing me. That should be good. Yeah, if I can actually get this thing working and doing something interesting, then there's lots of possibilities for once the networking is working. There are APs though. Of course. More conversion errors. There are APs though. I'm not sure what you mean by that. The only game I would play is poker since you're not playing against the house. There's only so many things you can do in life, and poker and gambling is not on my bucket list. Should add a loot box block to the mining simulator. Yeah, I mean the possibilities are endless. There's like an infinite number of blocks. Just noticed my comment dissing Google got censored. Total dictator behavior. Yep. Now we all know. Because we can all see the censored chat. Okay, let's try this again. Close current frame. Close current frame. Nice. Look at that. That's looking really good. Let's do that again in the terminal. Close current frame. Nice, and the menu's working. All right, that's progress. It's kind of glitched out on the help menu, but all right, I think that's pretty good. Advantage players. There. I'm not familiar with that term, but I guess maybe that's like a term for players that are working with the house or something. I know a lot of those gaming streamers, they like send them money and then they win, or they cook things so that the people watching them watch this person win all this money and kickbacks and stuff. Google is a good company. They don't censor that. All right, I think this was a successful stream. I got a little bit more done on the block mining game. Fixed a couple of bugs and UI issues. Raised some more funds for world domination. So I think I'll call it a night. Yeah, I'll probably be on tomorrow. I've got a couple of errands to run over the next couple of days, but I'm going to try to continue the stream once a day pattern. Players that play with an advantage, so they expect to make profit. Yeah, I imagine there's all kinds of shady stuff going on with that, where they get some kickbacks or something, or free something or other for it. But my car on sale, Craigslist, and I'm getting a call or text every 10 minutes on average. Yep, and you'll get to enjoy the fun of trying to sell stuff to the public. You'll get like 50 people who are like, "Hey, can I come look at it? Can I buy it right away?" And then they'll never come, and they'll flake out, and they'll pretend to be interested, and so look forward to that. Anyway, have a good night, guys.